Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you about the healing journey. When I say healing, some people call this the shadow work, the inner child work, the I don't know, there's a few different terms for it. I'm just going to call it healing. And when we talk about healing as well, a few years ago, when people used to talk to me about healing, I used to think it was like healing migraines or healing physical problems in the body, pain or discomfort in the body. But it's not. It's not healing something physical, although, yes, what I'm talking to you about today absolutely will heal and cure anything that is going on in your body because it's all about energy. But what I'm talking to you about is healing your humanness. So, if you are a person who wants to evolve, who knows that you are here for a bigger purpose, you want to activate your dormant DNA, you want to activate your soul gifts, you want to step into that higher version of you, you want to move into your soul purpose, your life path. Healing from your humanness is what is needed in order for you to evolve into the being that you truly are, and away from this human that you have been in your life up until now. So I am completely and utterly obsessed with this healing journey because no matter who comes to me with whatever problem is going on in their life, you can absolutely bet that there is always an energetic reason. There's something going on inside the body that is causing or creating whatever discomfort is going on in their life. Now, whether that is problems with relationships, with family, with connections, whether or not that is not really knowing what business to start or wanting clarity on your next steps forward, or whether that is something, financially, maybe you're in the same financial pickle that you see yourself in again and again and again. Healing on an energetic level and healing the resistance that we have that is holding us separate from these things is the absolute key to coming into alignment with who we truly are, but also allowing everything in that is meant for us, including the relationships, including access to our soul purpose, including the financial abundance and other abundance that every single one of us has absolute access to once we have cleared the resistance inside our physical beings that is pushing that away. Another little reason why I'm a little bit obsessed with the healing journey is because I've been on this journey probably just over a year, I suppose. The healing journey. Yeah, maybe about 18 months now. And the amount of people that are saying to me, Laura, you look younger than what you did a few years ago. Now, this is my little theory, and we're going to see if this proves true or not. But once we clear out all of this trauma, this stress inside of our bodies are supposed to recreate themselves, right? Our cells are supposed to be able to regenerate themselves every 7 years. So why are we aging? Why are we aging? Yes, I know we've got the chemicals out there and the chemtrails and all of that kind of stuff, but if we can heal out what's going on inside of our bodies and that stress and that trauma and everything else, then surely that just eases up the whole system. I'm not a biologist person, so I don't know the technical terms, but all our bodily systems, in order to be able to regenerate our cells, in order to be able to remain youthful. That's just a theory of mine. Let's just see. It just seems a little bit interesting how so many people keep telling me the same thing. And I'm like, fucking yes, get in there. This is amazing. So yes, I am 41 this year. So what else does healing help with? So, in your life right now, and you might notice that there are repeated patterns. You might notice that, usually you're fine and then something happens and it takes you into this place and you think, oh, I am here again. I am in this hole again. Those repeated patterns happen because on an energetic level, you are attracting those things into your experience. Yeah. Everything we experience on the outside of us, everything going on in our worlds, is all happening because on an energetic level, we are attracting it to us. Yeah. So when you notice a situation or a scenario, something happening, maybe somebody pisses you off, maybe a situation happens in your life and it really, really fucks you off. And you think that woman, she's really pissed me off now. It's not that woman who's really pissed you off. It's not that situation that's really fucked you off. What is happening there is something in your vibration that has attracted that particular situation to you. And the reason why it has attracted it to you is to bring it into your awareness so you know what you have got to heal. Okay. So obviously, you know, if you're not aware, we are all energetic beings. We all attract what we are an energetic match to. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about this because we've got our conscious, how we are consciously and what we're consciously vibrating. But there's also a whole world of subconscious going on as well. But I'll come on to that. So whenever things are happening in our lives, whenever things seem to be going wrong, whenever things are triggers, somebody pisses us off, whatever that is, there's always a reason for it. It's because there's something inside of you that needs healing out. You heal that out, you're no longer vibrational match to it, you no longer keep seeing those things happening in your life. Physical issues as well. So we hold on to these, we are energetic beings first and foremost. So whatever happens to us is in our energetic field. If we ignore those things for long enough, they become physical problems. We start to get the bad backs. We start to get the issues. We start to get the physical discomforts going on inside of us. We start to get the weird and wonderful problems and issues that we have that we don't even know about because, you know, science hasn't diagnosed it as anything yet. But the reason is because it's manifesting as physical because we've ignored it on an energetic level. So it has to show up physically because it needs healing and releasing in your body. So whatever is going on in with your health at the moment, with your physical body, that all comes back to an energetic level as well. And this is going to help you to understand how that happens. I hope that makes sense. Now, was there anything else that I wanted to cover before I move on? Just to say that naturally, we are all beings of the same oneness, the same creator, the same like amazing, beautiful God source light. And we are all just experiencing, we are all that same oneness. The only difference is that we are experiencing it in different bodies. So this version here is called Laura, and I am that oneness experiencing life through this vessel here. You are exactly the same, but experiencing life through your vessel. Yeah. And everybody is, all of us, right? We're all the same. Now, as we are creator beings, we have the absolute ability to be able to create and attract everything and anything into our reality. Like nothing is off limits. Like nothing is off limits. We get to be able to experience and do anything that we want. Anything, okay? Absolutely anything. And I know that sounds huge and it sounds absolutely bonkers, but if you think about the amount of programming and beliefs that we've got around what we can and can't do, this ceiling, this box we put around ourselves, these blocks, these subconscious programs that we run, the idea that we've got to work for money and money's hard to get, and this idea that money is scarce. It's not scarce at all. We live in an abundant world, guys. Abundance is all around us. The only thing that is stopping it, or the resistance for it coming to us easily and effortlessly, is because of the belief system that we have programmed into us, that has been programmed into us, that money is evil, money is bad, money is rajwa, money is hard work, money means sacrifice, money means all of those money blocks, right? Same with love. If you've experienced something shitty with love in your past, you've got that resistance. Your body is trying to push it away because it is scared. It doesn't want you to experience that again. Yeah. So coming back to our absolute core on this healing journey, when we peel back these layers, we are literally like an onion. When we start the healing journey, we start with the outer side of the onion, and it's nice and easy. We release something that's quite surface level, but the more you do, the deeper you go, and the more and more you release, but the more and more you come back to that oneness, to that absolute core of who you actually are. And the more you line up to that actual core of who you actually are, the more you release the resistance around letting things in. This is how manifestation really works, because then you have a thought, oh, that would be nice to experience that, and boom, it's in your experience, because you don't have all these programs running anymore. You don't have all this resistance running anymore. So that's why the healing journey is so fucking important. So what I'm going to explain to you now is about the difference between your conscious awareness and your subconscious awareness, because the amount of times I have spoken to people and they said to me, Laura, I don't have anything to heal out. I've not had a traumatic life. Something bad happened when I was 12, but I've dealt with that now. And I'm thinking, no, you haven't. Because what happens is I'm going to draw a little picture. I'm going to draw a little picture for you. Drawing skills are not great. We'll spell wrong too. Right, so can we see that? So we have got a triangle with conscious at the top and subconscious at the bottom. Right, that triangle is you. And at the top part, the conscious part, that is what you are aware of. That is what you consciously know to be true around how you feel, around your thoughts, around your feelings, around your vibration. Consciously, you might think, yeah, I'm great. I'm I'm happy. I'm cool. Everything in life's happening brilliantly. Rah, and that's great. But the bigger part of you is subconscious. It's hidden. That means we don't know about it. And that is where we hide all of our programs, all of our subconscious beliefs, all of our limitations, all of our resistance, everything in there. And the thing is with this subconscious part of us is that it runs 95% of who you are. 95% of you and everything that you do comes from that subconscious place that you don't have a clue what is going on in there. Now, as an explanation on that, when you get in your car and you drive from A to B and you get to your destination and you think, oh, I don't remember that journey. That's because that whole journey was your subconscious program taking you on that journey. Every time you pressed your brake pedal, every time you changed your gear, every time you flicked your indicator to switch on, that's your subconscious programming. Yeah. Your conscious mind is away with the fairies. You're probably thinking about lots of other things going on. But this is just a demonstration, an example of how our subconscious literally controls us. Our subconscious is literally running the show. Yeah, it is running who we are. It's a program. It's a load of programs. It's a whole heap of programs running in our bodies that is creating us to be the very being that we actually are right now. And it's only when we start to get curious and dig into the subconscious that we actually start to release and heal out some of what's going on in there, because our bodies hold the score with everything. Our bodies hold the DNA is just, there's so many statistics out there to do with what DNA is holding on to. It is insane. So when you're in a place where you're like, why can't I give up smoking? Why can't I lose weight? Why am I not starting the business that I've always wanted to start? Why do I find myself in this same place? It is because of these programs. It is because of what is going on under the surface. Why am I constantly anxious? Why am I scared of this? Why can't I move forward from this? Why do I have this same reaction every time something happens? Why does this happen? It's because of all of this going on inside our bodies. But it's fine because we have absolutely the ability and the capability to release and heal some of this stuff. And it's a journey. And when I first started, I was like, yes, let me do this. I want to do this, go full steam ahead, get it done, tick the box. No, it's going to last it's going to last for the rest of our lives, right? Because we've not only got this lifetime to heal out, we've got all of our past lives to heal out. We've got all of our ancestral traumas to heal out. And you know what? You'll know when you're finished when you start levitating. That's what I think. Or when we turn into light beings. I think that's when we realize that, we're pretty much up there with the healing journey. And some of the healing just needs a release. Some of it needs acknowledging. Some of it, we've got karmic stuff to heal out as well. So we need to understand where it's come from, and we need to understand the lesson, the learning, whatever it is around that, so we can learn from it and grow and evolve. And other blocks in there just need sorry, I'm getting distracted. Other blocks in there, they just need acknowledging and releasing. So I forgot what I was going to say. Right, what causes trauma in the body? When we say trauma, and we tend to think, it's got to be something really big and really scary that happened. And then you think, well, nothing big and scary happened to us. No, it doesn't. Because trauma, when we talk about trauma or energetic blocks, emotional trauma in the body, can be really, really, really little. Yeah. Because if you imagine, I'll give you an example. So something that could have caused trauma in the body. If you think of maybe a small child, let's go to, I don't know, 7-year-old little boy, he's at school, he's having a test, and he comes home from school and he says to mum and dad, look, I got a B in my test. And he's feeling really good about it because he worked really hard and he tried really hard. But then dad turns around, or mum turns around and says, you could have done better. That moment could very well be a moment of trauma for that little boy. And when we say trauma, that means it's uncomfortable. It's a discomfort for that little boy in that moment. Something that he doesn't want to experience again because he feels like he's let dad down. He feels like maybe he's not good enough. Yeah. So it's almost like that rejection as well. So all of those emotions come up in that moment. And that little boy, on a subconscious level, not that he knows this, packs that away and it gets stored in there. So then he starts to run this program of not good enough, must try harder. And then as an adult, that might manifest itself as the kind of person who always constantly works really hard, always got to do more, be more, have more, work harder, because of that trauma that was held onto as a small child and packed away, and created that program that nothing he does is ever going to be good enough. Yeah. Just because of that little thing that either mum or dad said. And that's how it can be. That's how small it can be. So when you think back to all of your life, every single time that you wanted to cry, but you didn't. You weren't able to, or maybe mum or dad told you you weren't allowed to cry. Why are you crying? If you cry, I'll give you something to cry about. The amount of times I have heard that is insane. Every time as a child or as an adult that you have felt grief, but you have not processed it. Every time that you have felt anger, but you've not been allowed to express it. Every time that you felt any sort of low vibrational emotion, betrayal or fear or anything at all, every single time you felt any one of those and you've not been allowed to process it, it is stored in our physical vessel. It's in there. And this is when I say the healing, we have all got so much of it to do. Now, let me give you a little story. For me, and this is when I say we don't know, we genuinely do not know the memories that cause this, what goes on inside of us. Because it is so packed away, it is so deep down there. It's only when we start going digging that we start to release this stuff and we start to think, oh my goodness, how did that I didn't realize how that affected me. But then when you do start to dig into it and you start to pull this stuff out, it makes sense, because then you can see the parallels in who you are right now as an adult as to what happened as a child. It's insane. So let me tell you this little story. Hang on. So this is how much the healing journey, healing out can help. So a few years ago, one of my friends wanted to gift me a place on her retreat, Natalie. And I was so uncomfortable at the thought of receiving something, because it was, the value of it was a few £100s. And I couldn't understand why I couldn't receive this. Now, I actually had tears come to my eyes when she wanted to give me this gift, And I never really understood it. And then a little bit further on into my healing journey, I was working on sort of resistance around money. It's just noticing the same patterns going on in my business, generate money, money's gone. Like, why is this pattern like continuing? So I've done quite a lot of work around money blocks and the resistance around receiving money as well, and having money. Obviously with my programming, my religious programming growing up, and all of the the ideas around money is evil, rich people are this, rich people are that, it's bad to have money, rah, rah. Anyway, I went back to this memory and I was 18 in this memory. Now, in this memory, I had an uncle. When I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. Mum and dad struggled a lot with money. We didn't really get to go on holidays at all. I'd wear my brother's clothes. I always got hand-me-downs for my brother's clothes. But that's just how it was. But in my family, I had this. My grandma had a boyfriend. My granddad died when I was quite young, but my grandma had a boyfriend called Reg. And I got on so well with him. And he was such a beautiful man. He was so generous. Like, he would take us to the park and buy us ice cream. And not only just ice cream, but ice cream with a flake in it and the sauce and all of the bits, which was a massive, massive, massive treat for us growing up. He was just, and he'd come and visit, and he'd buy fish and chips from the fish and chip shop, because we never had takeaways or anything like that either. So he always treated us. He'd always, come with sweets and things like that. So this was the kind of guy he was. So I got on really, really, really well with Reg. And even when I grew up, I stayed in contact with him. I'd look after him. He got older and he did quite a lot of looking after. And I used to take him out. When I passed my driving test, I got my first car. My first car was a brown Nissan Micra. really old, and I called it Howard. But absolutely loved that car, and I used to take Reg out in the car. Anyway, one day he said to me, he said, Laura, I'd really like to buy you a car. And I thought, okay, this is interesting. Um, that's huge, right? But because my first car that I bought was like £300, I bought it myself. I was expecting a sort of something similar. Um, so we went along and he wanted to go to this big car showroom, and we went and we sat in lots of cars, and he had such a beautiful day. We both did. And we had so much fun sort of selecting and choosing cars and deciding. He absolutely used to love his cars, did Reg. But because he was a lot older now when I was 18, he couldn't drive anymore. But he really, really enjoyed the experience of, me taking him out and then him being able to buy me a car. So anyway, he ended up picking this car, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was, it was silver. It was was it a Peugeot 106? I can't remember. But it had a roof. It had the roof that came off. So it was a hard roof, but it came off, electric roof. It had leather seats. Oh my goodness, the car was fucking stunning. It was stunning. And it cost an absolute fortune, right? It cost an absolute fortune. And when he said he wanted to buy this, it, I was totally speechless. Like for me. But he really, really wanted to do this. He wanted to buy me this car, and it was the most beautiful thing. And thinking back, this memory has been pushed down. And now I know why. So what happened was we drove back. I dropped Reg off at where he lived, and I spoke to my mum and told my mum. Now, the thing is that I had a brother, and Reg had just gone and spent this massive amount of money on me and not spent the same amount of money on my brother. And my mum always likes things to be even though my brother doesn't have a relationship or didn't have a relationship with him when he was alive. It was just really, really, really awkward. It was a really, really, really tough time, because the amount of trauma that happened in that day was crazy, because my mum, and I don't think she didn't mean to, but pointed out to Reg that he needed to make it even, either take the car back and split the money, or be able to find an equal amount of money for my brother. Now, he felt this massive guilt. He must have felt all other emotions around this. And I felt that it was all my fault. This poor man, this beautiful man who wanted to do something so nice and so generous for me. And he really, really did. And then he was just met with this barrage of shitness, basically. And I absorbed all of that, because I just felt so bad for the whole situation, because now he had to go and find the same amount of money to gift to my brother. Okay. So in that moment, my subconscious created the program. If I receive something, it's going to be traumatic to others and to me. It's going to cause other people grief. It's going to cause other people pain. It's going to cause problems for everybody. So I don't deserve to receive anything. And it's better for me not to receive things. And that's exactly what the program I had been running all of my life, and I didn't even realize it. And when I went back to this memory, what was interesting was I'd realized that this memory wasn't a memory. It wasn't a fond memory. I mean, come on, it's huge. Somebody buys you a car. This should be like one of the top, biggest moments of your life. But it was so packed away for me, because it was actually of a traumatic memory. So healed this memory, released it, let it go, worked through it. Then what happened was the universe, download, Laura, put an offer on your website for one-to-one coaching, double it. And I'm thinking, absolutely not. Nobody is going to pay that amount of money to work with me one-to-one. But this voice kept coming, right? Voice, this knowing, this idea kept coming to me. Laura, put your one-to-one offer on there, double it. Okay, it was huge, a huge amount of money. And I'm thinking, no, but I did. I gave into it. It was guidance from above. I thought, okay, I'll do it. I'll put it on my website, but I'm not talking about it. I'm not going to put it on social media and I'm not going to market it, but I'll put it on my website. So what happened then, guys? 2 days, 2 days. I had a coffee with somebody who asked me what options there were to work one-to-one. And she told me to speak up and said, come on, tell me. And I'm saying it under my breath. And she's like, yep, I want that. Send me the invoice and I'm going to send you the money. And just to put this into perspective, right, this offer that I put on my website was over £7,000 to work with me one-to-one. Yeah. It was fucking huge. I did not expect in a million years that anybody would ever spend that amount of money to want to work with me one-to-one. But the universe said to me, do it, put it on your website, because well done, Laura, you've gone back to that traumatic event, that memory, you've healed it out, you've released it, you've acknowledged now why you don't receive, why you struggle to receive, and you've released it. So we're telling you now, put this on your website, and we're going to send you a client. And that's exactly what happened. And that lady sent me the money within a day or two. And it was huge for me. It was huge, absolutely huge. In fact, I had to go get in the car and release some more and scream and cry because it was such a contradiction to this worthy, unworthy, worthless version of humanness that I was before I started the healing journey. That was my identity. And now somebody wanted to pay me this massive amount of money to work with me one-to-one. It was huge. That was traumatic in itself. But I made sure I did the releasing on that. So I just wanted to give you that as an example for how important this healing journey is, how quickly things can change in our reality around us by just acknowledging, what's going on with us. Why was it uncomfortable for me to receive? Why do I notice these money patterns? Why is it that these things keep happening in my life? Just get curious on it and figure it out. So let me talk to you quickly about some of the types of releasing that we do. So when we are releasing energy from the body, it can come up, we can burp. Yeah, that's a common one. Yawning is a common one. Crying is definitely a common one. This is the biggest one for me all the time. So, certain days I just feel like I don't put mascara on and I think, okay, that's because I've got some healing to do today. And I just know it. So crying's huge. When you get further into the healing journey, so remember we're an onion and the surface level stuff's easy. The more you get into it, you might find that your crying becomes like sobbing, like deep sobbing, and you might be consciously thinking, whoa, what's this noise? What's my body doing here? You might notice yourself shaking. Yeah, you might find you want to scream. Get yourself a cushion, scream into the fucking cushion, or people think you're going insane. You might find that you want to hit things, hit the bang the floor. Basically, it's emotion that just needs to come out of you. And however that comes out of you, that is totally fine. It's going to be different for everybody. Nobody's ever the same. Nobody's ever the same. No release is ever the same. I remember one session I was doing, my friend Dawn, we was belief coding each other when we were training for belief coding. And I was there and I was working with my subconscious in this session. And I remember my head just went back and I just let out this almighty scream. This scream, oh my goodness, it was not from me. It was nothing that this physical Laura here could ever do. It was deeper, it was bigger, it was powerful, it was huge. And I remember thinking at the time, consciously, like I'm screaming and I'm releasing, I'm thinking, fucking hell, I hope the neighbours are out on the street because they'll be able to hear this. But then when you think about, we're not just here in this lifetime here. Remember the witch wound, right? Being burnt at the stake for having the courage to come out and talk about our gifts and our abilities and heal people naturally. And we got burnt for it. Remember the lifetimes. You know, there's so many lifetimes that we've gone back to. So when you have a release like that, you don't need to think, well, where's that come from? Or where's, you know, we don't need to question it. We just need to trust that it's releasing because it's ready to be released. We don't need to know. So when I did that scream, I don't know where that's from. I don't know which lifetime that's from. I don't know what had happened there. I don't need to know. If I needed to know, then my subconscious would have taken me back to that lifetime to being able to release out whatever karma or whatever pattern or whatever, acknowledge whatever I needed to acknowledge. But because it just passed through me, that's all I needed to do. There's been times where, like, literally I have just needed to scream. Yeah. When we on the healing journey as well, the more you get into it, the easier it is. So now I find myself on a morning, hand on heart, breathe into the heart. Okay, heart, what do we need to release today? And I just spend a bit of time with my heart, listening to my heart. Sometimes emotion comes up. Sometimes light language will come up and it'll be angry and I'll be screaming and I just let it process. But that's what needs to happen for it to come out of my physical vessel in order for me to be able to drop in more of the high vibrational stuff. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the healing modalities now, because this is one of the things that I think we really need to do moving forward, you know, is to be able to have the tools to know what we can do ourselves. So we're not having to rely on other people, or we're not waiting for others to heal us. So yeah, let me just start off here. Okay, so healing modalities, basically anything that helps you to connect with your body and to get out of your mind, number one, anything that just helps you to understand what's going on in your body. Because even though sometimes we say, I could say, how are you feeling? And you could be like, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling excited. Actually, usually that's our heads telling us how we're feeling. And it takes a little bit of time to start to connect into our bodies. And if you want to do like a little exercise right now with me, put your hands on your heart and just take some breaths and just imagine like you're breathing into your heart. Just see if you can just imagine that you're breathing love and light into your heart space. And then just feeling your heart just softening. And just imagine you're breathing that beautiful God source white light into your heart. And you might feel emotion start to arise. You might feel some memories or remembrance. You might feel nothing at all and you might feel completely numb. And that's totally okay. But just take another breath for me and just come back to your body, come back to me here. So that little exercise there, it's interesting because when you start to do that little exercise, and if you do it again and again and again, you'll notice that you will start to feel your own heart. Now, at first, this might just start to feel really numb, but acknowledging that you are feeling numb is the first step to moving forward and being able to feel the emotion around your heart. See, our hearts are covered with walls of emotion. They're protected. It's called like a heart wall, okay? It's protected. And often we can't actually feel what's going on in our hearts because there's so much going on around it that's protecting it. But the more that we just do that little exercise, and there's an amazing app called Insight Timer, and I'm going to put all of the links that I say and mention in this video, I'm going to put them all You'll find them all on my website under the healing page on my website, because there's some brilliant, absolutely brilliant apps, free things that you can use so you can start this journey like straight away. So there's an amazing meditation on there, and it's called Flow of Love by a guy called David G. And do that every day, and you will start to feel emotion come up. You'll start to feel it. But like I say, take time. If you just feel numbness at first, you know, that's okay. Just acknowledging the numbness and keep going and keep going. Because remember, we've been ignoring our hearts for so long. Yeah, we've been living from our heads for so long. So it does take time. Okay. So when we talk about meditation as well, now this idea of having to sit quietly with our legs crossed and go, is absolutely not the case at all. Meditation is anything that is to get out of your head, to get out of that thinking, that program, that constant go thing that is going on. So listening to music is a form of meditation. Okay, just sitting and being and just staring out of the window, daydreaming is a form of meditation. Why do you think the teachers always told us not to daydream? Just sitting and just focus on your breath. Just imagine, feel the breath just going into your chest and releasing. Yeah, because when you do that, it helps your mind to stop going. Okay, so like I said, there's an app called Insight Timer, INSIGHT Timer, and it is absolutely brilliant at helping us to just start to get to that place of being able to meditate and quieten the mind. Now, rewind for me when I started my journey and I was listening to Abraham Hicks all of the time, and Abraham Hicks often said to quieten the mind and just listen to a humming noise or focus on something. But my problem was I just kept getting these thoughts in my mind and they just kept coming in, and I just felt like I wasn't doing it right. Whereas listening to a guided meditation on an app like Insight Timer is amazing because it keeps your mind focused, but also allows that quietness as well. So I'm going to link that, and I'm going to link the Flow of Love and a few other meditations on there as well. Grounding, if you've not heard of this, just get your feet on the ground, get your feet on the soil, on the sand, or on the grass, and just connect with the earth. And we are energetic beings, we are all part of nature, and just being able to really connect with energy is a really, really good way just to start this journey as well. And just being comfortable with doing nothing, just being comfortable with giving yourself that time and space to really slow down and relax, because this is the hardest thing for anybody on the healing journey, is to stop being the human that you've been, the doing human, you know, this program, this rat race, this matrix where we've got to go do. Remember, this has been programmed into us as little children. 9 to 5, go to school, work, homework, rah-de-rah, work harder, then you're at work. This idea that we always have to do, that is a program in itself. And it's about undoing that, undoing the humanness so that we can start to be and be more of a beingness. If you struggle with meditation, and a lot of the men that I know really struggled with trying to stop the brain, but what they found is that cold water therapy really helped. Now, before you start with trying to do going to jump in a river or under a waterfall or something, just please do a little bit of research around the parasympathetic nerve and controlling your breathing so that your breathing doesn't control you, because you could easily go into that state of panic. So just do your own research around that, be sensible with that. A really nice and easy way to start would be after your shower, turn the water right down, and just see how long you can last. Maybe start with 5 seconds and then just build that up to 30 seconds or so and just get used to it. What happens is, because of the shock on your body, the coldness of the water, it stops your brain, it stops this program momentarily, which means that you get to actually feel your body. So the more you do this, the more that you are breaking that cycle of thoughts, that program that is constantly going. Okay. Anything like yoga or qigong are absolutely amazing as well, to really, really, really start to just connect with your body. Slow down, feel what's going on in your body. Yeah, really good. I want to talk to you about some of the modalities that I've used. So I'm going to put what am I going to do? Yeah, I'm going to put some really good healing links from the Insight Timer app on my page. So there's things like the Akashic Record meditation, and that's where it will take you into your Akashic Records, which is like the library of your soul. So you can see all your past lives, you can figure out what needs healing out. If you've got an intention of, okay, I want to stop smoking, what is it that is causing me to smoke? You can go in there and get the downloads and figure it out and release that out. There's there's loads of amazing ones, but I'll put some of my favorite ones on there, where you're taking on a journey and you see your younger self, and you can do some of that inner child work and drop off some of the baggage that your inner child has been carrying around. There's breath work on there, but I'm going to come on to breath work in just a minute as well. So to explain my healing journey, I started off with these meditations, and then I signed up for something called belief coding. And again, I'll put the link to the belief coding community on Facebook on my page, on my website, on my healing page. Now, this is brilliant. It was a version, it's kind of a mix of different modalities. NLP, CBT, EFT, meditation, matrix re-imprinting, emotion coding, kinesiology, and energy healing. And it uses like lots of different modalities in one. So if you've got something, a discomfort like lack of confidence, for example, it really helps you to go back to the memory that created the emotional trauma that got stored in your body. So then you can go and heal it, release it, acknowledge it, have you cry, whatever you need to do. And then you realize it's gone out of your vibration. And then you notice that your way of being is different moving forward. There's another modality called mind navigation, because belief coding is amazing. It works with one discomfort at a time. So if you are interested in that, what I would say is see what it would be like to become a facilitator, to learn the whole process. Then you can keep doing it on yourself again and again and again. That's what I did, because one session like barely even scratches the surface of what we've got to go on. Whereas if you can give yourself the tools to be able to know how to heal things out yourself, then you're just empowering yourself. You can heal yourself, then you can start to heal others as well. And that is amazing. But don't get me wrong as well, you don't need to go and pay for something. So many of us now in this spiritual space are being downloaded with gifts and abilities and talents. And even though we might not feel confident in ourselves yet of pushing these forward, just experiment on yourself and experiment on people around you. Because if you are in that place of receiving and spirit's giving you this healing modality to use it. Find the courage to just ask some of the friends, the people around you, can I practice on you? Because there's so many now coming. There's so many coming through, and it is amazing. And sometimes we're in our minds, in our heads, and we think, oh, I need to do this, and I need to accredit it, and I need to get a qualification for it. No, you don't. If it's come from spirit, it's fucking already there. We don't need any qualifications. We don't need any qualifications. We just need to know that we trust ourselves enough to be able to use it. Yeah. So if you are a person who is finding that, oh, I've been doing this weird thing on myself, and and it's happening, and this has been working, and I don't know why, it just came to me. Try it on somebody else, okay? Because it's coming to you for a reason. So I just wanted to say that. So there's Beyond the Veil as well, which is absolutely bloody brilliant. This is a guided meditation, an interactive experience where you are guided to meet your spirit guides or your galactic guides. You can ask all of your questions. What's my purpose? Why am I here? What's my next steps forward? Rah-de-rah. But you can also ask for healing. You can ask for activations. You can ask for initiations, whatever that is. Beyond the Veil is brilliant because usually they take you off to a healing chamber and they will fire light into you or do weird things with hands or frequency, and heal out what's going on. So if you have got a physical problem, or if you've got an emotional blockage or something that's stopping you moving forward, we spoke about the witch wounds, and there's also the galactic wounds as well. If we've been here on galactic mission, or we've been on other galactic missions and there's been something really traumatic that is stored in us, Beyond the Veil, Beyond the Galactic Veil is an amazing place to go to figure out what that galactic wound is or was, so you can heal it and release it, and then you'll probably notice yourself moving forward more with what you're here to do. Maybe you're a bit more comfortable about being seen or being known for what you do. So Beyond the Veil is amazing for healing that. So breathwork, that brings me on to my breathwork experience. My first experience with breathwork, I'm going to put the breathwork link from the Insight Timer on my page. My first experience, I had two friends who were training in breathwork when I did this, and it's only a short meditation on Insight Timer. And I remember thinking to myself, I really wanted to go deep. I wanted to start this healing journey off as I mean to go on. So I really breathed deep into this first breathwork experience. Like I said, the link will be on my page. And I remember listening to, I think it's a lady called Brie, and she was guiding it, and it was amazing. And I remember thinking, I can't do this. I can't keep up with this. It doesn't feel comfortable to keep up with this breathing pattern because it felt so different to what my normal breathing pattern. So I had all of this resistance going on in my body, and it's so easy to think, that's it, stop it, I don't want to carry on. But I knew that I wanted to have this experience. I wanted this to work for me. So I carried on with the breathing and I pushed through, and you get a dry mouth and it's okay and everything else. And then all of a sudden, like boom, tears were flowing. Tears were flowing. And when I say tears were flowing, they were howling out of me. And like I say, it's not a traumatic experience when I talk about healing and releasing, because you're not upset. It's not a bad experience. It's just your body releasing what needs to release. So consciously, I remember thinking, oh my goodness, where is this coming from? I must sound like an absolute lunatic. And it was like I was laughing at myself because I knew my body was crying and reacting in this way. But consciously, I was thinking, what's going on? This doesn't make sense. So it was quite funny. And then the next thing is I literally got the pillow and I started screaming into the pillow. What was I screaming about? I do not know, but I knew that my body needed to scream. So I just let it out and I just went with it. And then after that experience, I had a group chat with the two friends that were training as belief coding facilitators at the time. Sorry, not belief coding, breathwork facilitators. They were both training to be breathwork facilitators. And I messaged them and I voice noted and I said, holy fuck, what has just happened? This is what I have experienced. And they both just said, yeah, that's normal. That's energy healing, Laura. Get used to it. So I just thought, okay, let's go with this. And since then, I have to say, Natalie, my friend who has trained in belief coding, she's in my membership. She does the belief coding in there every month. keep saying belief coding. She does the breath work in there every month. She's absolutely fucking incredible. She's so gifted, so talented at breath work. And I have had some amazing, amazing releases with that. Breath work is definitely one up there. Like, if you're serious about your healing journey, excuse me, get some breath work. Look, releasing, get some breath work. Some breath work, definitely. Quantum healing, again, oh my goodness, this is an incredible one, absolutely incredible. Quantum healing, you're taken to the quantum, you've got access to all this quantum energy for healing, releasing, to getting on your highest timeline, to figure out all this stuff. It's so powerful. It literally just links you to your limitless potential. It's absolutely amazing. Again, I've got a lady called Susie in my membership who is, I think she just brings quantum healing there every couple of months. There's angelic healing as well, and this was a new one. And this is something that, again, there's so many people out there, intuitive people that are able to connect with angels who can probably do this too. Angelic healing, if you imagine distance Reiki healing, so when you channel Reiki energy to send to people, and you use your, you use your symbols and all the rest of it, if you're connecting to that energy, but also connected to the angels as well, and if you are the kind of person who can download and you're getting the messages through as well, angelic healing maybe is something that you might be able to do. So my friend Dawn is amazing, and she's helped so many people to set up being able to offer angelic healing, because all you do is just basically lay there. They send you remote healing, so wherever they are in the world, they send it to you. They channel their guides and their team to send the healing to you. You literally just feel this amazing buzziness all over your body, and then they tell you all of the information that's come through for you. So there might have been a loved one who had a message for you. There might have been some advice of what to do to help you, or some healing that you need to receive. The messages are amazing. So that's angelic healing. I'm going to pop a link as well to something called Union of Light. Now, Union of Light is Dawn's platform, and on there we have got a whole host of amazing healers that are able to offer these services, that everything that I'm talking about to you. So basically, on my journey, I've been so fortunate to have been connected to so many amazing healers, but because they are amazing healers, and because they are not experts on social media, they are struggle to get out there, to post content, to build the audience and all of the rest of it, market themselves. So we wanted to create sort of a platform so we could list all of these healers on there, knowing that they are heart-centered and that they are absolutely dedicated to their own healing journey, because that is the most important. Because if we are not dedicated to our own healing journey, we fall into that place of our ego knows best, which it absolutely doesn't, because we are here to evolve, we are here to become our higher selves, and we are here to move forward with what we are here to do. So those are the only rules that we have around the being a healer on the Union of Light platform. So if you're looking for anything that I've mentioned, belief code and angelic healing, all of it, everything that I'm going to mention, just have a look for the Union of Light tab as well on our website, and you will find some amazing healers that can help with you. So you've got like shamanic healing too. So my spiritual healer, Phoenix, I guess you would probably class her as shamanic healing. I go and see her once a month, and she does this energy stuff on me, banging drums, lighting things, music. I'm just releasing all over the place. She's taking me back to past lives. She's aligning energies in my body, all sorts of amazing, amazing, amazing things. You've got EFT, emotional freedom technique. That's where you use tapping. So tap on different meridian points in your body. I'm tapping everywhere here. I'm doing it completely wrong. But what that does is it talks directly to your subconscious to try and unprogram some of the unprogram some of the programs that are going on in your subconscious. Quantum frequency technology as well. This is where we use your voice. this is like technology that's used with NASA and astronauts. I mean, I don't know where we stand with NASA and astronauts and that kind of stuff, what space is and all of that jazz. But basically, this is technology that uses the tones in your voice, the frequencies in your voice. And by the frequencies in your voice, because obviously everything is frequency, it can, this technology can understand what is going on in your body on an energetic level, like your chakras, meridians, like any toxicities, and it balances the harmonics in your body. So it creates tones for you to listen to in each ear to sort of balance out what's going on. So it also gives you things like your trapped emotions in your body, things that like parasite or just all sorts. It's mental. There's a page on my website, quantum frequency healing or quantum sound healing or something like that, where you can get access to those reports as well. And it's like super cheap, as low as £20 for the first report. Which is amazing. And then there's one as well in there called Mind Sync as well, which is amazing because what that does is it uses the different frequencies in your different ears to knit together the two sides of your brain. So you record either your voice note or you record your affirmations, and then it plays them back to these frequencies so to make sure it actually gets wired into your psyche. It's amazing. Another form of healing that you can do is mirror work. Okay, self-love is massive. It is huge. Self-love is absolutely everything, because in a world where we are taught not to love ourselves, we really need to come back to that place of worthiness and being able to love ourselves first and foremost before we can move on to anything else. So if you are a person who struggles to look in the mirror, if you are a person who doesn't like what is looking back in the mirror, I would say, please, please, please get in that mirror and start to say, I love you. I love you, and say your name and start to say the things that you love about yourself. Because do you know what? If you're not feeling love towards you, the universe cannot mirror it back to you, because you are, everything's a frequency and you attract what you are, the frequency that you are putting out. Self-love is everything. Okay, so have a look, just Google it, mirror work. Just practice each day, even if it's just on a morning when you're brushing your teeth. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself something that you love about yourself. Okay, if you're finding that a struggle, start off with your hand. Look at your hand. Tell yourself that you love your hand. If you think about your body and all of the millions of cells in your body, and they are all working for you, they are literally functioning completely for you every single day. That heart of yours is beating for you every single day. You don't have to think about it. It just does it to keep you alive. Like, can we send our hearts some love? Can we send our bodies some love? Can we send ourselves in our bodies some love as well? Because we are not our bodies, right? We are not our minds. Are we our souls? Who knows? But what we need to do is try and unite all of the parts of us to bring us into this place where we are completely at one and in alignment with who we are. And let's just start to just bring some of that love to us. Yeah, we're very good at sending love to other people, but let's just think we can bring it, see if we can bring some back to ourselves. You know, Reiki is an amazing, I've touched on Reiki briefly. Reiki is an amazing one. And the good thing about Reiki is it's so mainstream, it's pretty much accepted everywhere now, which is fantastic. And when people talk to me about light language, I'm like, nah, it's like Reiki. It's the energy. We're just a channel for it. Reiki seems to be accepted now. So absolutely love it. So you can find Reiki practitioners like all over the place, and pretty common, which is cool. I trained in Reiki 1 and 2 as well. Don't tend to use it though, but I guess well, I created my own modality as well, which I'll come on to. So somatic dance, hang on. So sound healing. So dance, sound bowls, the gong. Oh my goodness, when you feel the frequencies going through you, and there's loads out there. You know, this is not an exhaustive list at all. There's absolutely loads. If you sit down and you really tune into your heart and you listen to the right frequencies, oh my goodness, the tears are going to flow. You're going to be healing yourself. It's huge. There's crystal healing that I've never experienced, but I've told that it's really powerful. Light language. So again, this was the download that came for me, this activation that came for me just a few months ago, because I was doing so much healing. I was clearing out lots of the crappy stuff going on in my vessel, which allowed then for this activation to drop in, because I was more of a, because I'd released a lot of the low frequency stuff going on, it meant that I was an energetic match to be able to allow in some of that higher frequency stuff. So the light language came in, and now I can use that to heal people, which is amazing. People message me, Laura, I've got a headache. Laura, my foot hurts. Laura, my back hurts. And I'm just channel the light language, and it's gone. You know, it's amazing. It's absolutely beautiful. If you are thinking that you would like a light language activation, please look on my page, the light language page. Remember that we're only able to receive what we are able to receive for our highest good at the time. So I can't guarantee the activations at all, but what I can guarantee is that you will receive exactly what you need from your guides for what you're ready for. And just finally, just coming on to, hang on. Yeah, no, there's still quite a bit of talking I need to do. Geez, this is going to be a really long video. So my friend and I, Natalie, I've spoken about Natalie a few times. We both use different modalities in our healing journeys. She used just very different modalities to what I did. But because we were both with each other on our healing journeys, and we were trying to really keep calling each other out, so we'd notice the same patterns coming up with each other. You know, things that you don't notice yourself, because for you think it's you, this is just who I am. But when you're with somebody else and they can reflect things back to you, you start to realize, actually, that's not who I am. That's something else. That's, you know, something running me. That's a program. That's not a conscious decision I'm making there. So I brought the modalities that I trained in, and Natalie brought the modalities that she trained in, and together we created this modality called Rapid Story Reframe. And what that does is, if you have a repeated something that happens, and this is probably something, and I don't really recommend it for somebody who's at the start of their healing journey, because remember, we're an onion and we need to clear out a lot of the surface level stuff first. But yeah, once you start to clear out some of those surface level healings that need to happen, then we can, sorry, I'm just getting so distracted. Then with a rapid story reframe, it gets like right into the root of something that is really deep. So you might have used other modalities and you might still have this one problem, this one issue that keeps coming back to you, and it's annoying you, and you think, why can't I touch this? Why can't I heal this? What is the problem? That is where you would use rapid story reframe. It's deep. Yeah, and it is deep. That's all I'm going to say. It's deep, but it is effective. It is super powerful. And interestingly enough, I have to mention this because it absolutely blows me away. One lady messaged me last weekend saying that she'd just done a Going Beyond the Veil session, and she was told by Yeshua and her guides that she needed to contact me to do rapid story reframe on her, because that's exactly what she needed to do to release her blocks, which then meant she would be able to move forward with what she's here to do, because she needs to help people to move through the thing that she needed to help move through with. And I was listening to that voice message thinking, what? Seriously? Yeshua and your guides have told you to come to me? Really? It's mental. But yeah, it's a very, 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 very powerful modality. Now, I was going to talk to you about heart healing. Heart healing is an amazing modality as well. And again, you will find that listed on the Union of Light website, and I will add that onto my list. And I could talk all day about heart healing, but I think I've talked long enough now. So I'm going to leave that there. But heart healing is incredible. I think sometimes we think that we don't need heart healing because we've not had a broken heart. I certainly didn't have a broken heart in this lifetime, but these sessions that I had of heart healing absolutely changed everything for me. Remember, our first experience of unconditional love is from our parents. And the first questionnaire that I got from my heart healing experience was, what did you learn from your parents about unconditional love? And then I started to think, because obviously my head wanted to jump in and say, well, of course I felt like I was loved unconditionally because my parents were busy and they were busy with this and they were busy with that and they tried their best. But then you sit with it and then you dig under the ego who's trying to protect you, and then you realize that actually, did I even feel loved as a child? Did I even feel loved? Or did I just feel tolerated? Or did I feel that if I did well at school, that they liked me and they gave me some attention? So you can see where we go with this, right? Especially when you realize that our first ideas of this word that we call love are from our parents. It's deep. Anyway, let me just see if there's anything else to mention. Oh, there's so much. But honestly, I don't think I could talk anymore. If you've stayed with me this long, well done. Check out my website. Have a look on Union Flight website. All of my links are going to be on there. It's all so interesting. The healing journey absolutely changes everything. It's the most important thing you can do for yourself. Slow down, find time for healing, release it all, realize that once you start the healing journey, that the chances are you're going to find yourself slowing down. You're going to need to be able to stop, to rest, to integrate. You're going to need to be able to find time to like I say, integrate everything that's going on for you, because you are literally changing the very person that you have been being so that you can evolve into who you want to become. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Sending you all loads of love, and I will see you again soon.